Hi everyone, Matt James here, welcome to another guitar tutorial, and today I am going to be showing you how to play the Elvis Presley song I'll Remember You, which is actually a request from somebody. Now first of all, I must apologise for the lack of audio and visual quality. I'm actually in the middle of moving house at the moment. As you can see, there's a lot of mess behind me, so I haven't had that much time to dedicate to uploading videos, but because this was a request, I really did want to try and do something fairly quickly, otherwise I thought months could go by and I wouldn't have done it. So as I say, the audio and visual quality isn't as good as I would normally like, but hopefully you'll still get something out of this video today. So as I say, I'll Remember You by Elvis Presley, really lovely ballad from the early 1960s. I'm doing it in the same key as Elvis, which is the key of E, but I've got the capo on the 2nd fret because I think it's slightly easier to play, especially if you're a beginner and you just wanted to keep this as simple as possible. Then I think it's a bit easier to play with capo 2nd fret, and we're playing it, as I say, in the original key of E, but for the purposes of the capo, it's actually a D chord that we're sort of in the key of. There's still a few bar chords in this one. I'm afraid those are unavoidable. So again, if you are beginning, you're struggling with bar chords, just do your best. A few do pop up, but it's a really lovely one to learn this. There's a bit more going on throughout it than you might necessarily think, so I'll break it down slowly and hopefully you'll get something out of it. There is another video of me that I've done playing the whole song through, so if you want to play through with me, as it were, just watch that video rather than me doing that loads in this video. But I will do a little bit of that as well in this lesson. But anyway, let's get started. So we'll start with the introduction, which is 4 chords. It's worth pointing out that all the chords I'm doing are relative to the capo, so essentially this is the 1st fret, not the 3rd fret. So as I say, relative to the capo. So the chords we're looking at for the intro are D, F sharp minor, which is a bar chord, E minor, and A. I will also try and remember to put up the chords that I'm playing sort of either to the left or the right of me when I edit the video, so that you can see the fingering pattern of the chords if you're not entirely sure with some of the bar chords. Okay, so as I say, we've got D, F sharp minor, E minor, and A, which sounds like this in real time. And then we're into our verse 1. So the start of the verse 1 is the same as the introduction chord. So again, we've got that D. I'll remember to F sharp minor, E minor, long after this, A, back to D, and the summer. And then we've got our first change of chord, which is a B7, is then we've got an E minor again. I'll be look to a G minor, which is all the way over here. Oh, so lonely, E minor, living on to a quick A, and back to D. And then it goes through the intro chords again for the end of that first verse. So I'll play through it slowly because there's a few chords there, so I'll just shout out the chords rather than sing the words. So very slowly, it's E minor, A, D, B7, E minor, G minor, E minor, A, D, F sharp minor. So these are the intro chords again. E minor, A. So that's your verse 1. I will play through it singing the words now as well. I'll try and do it slowly again. So I won't shout out the chords this time, but I will sing if you want to play along with me. Obviously feel free to pause the video if you need to, what have you. I'll do it at slower speed. Here we go. So verse 1. Well, I'll go from the intro into verse 1 actually. So here's the intro. I'll remember you be lonely, oh so lonely, living only to remember you. And then we're into our verse 2, which is very similar to verse 1, but there are a couple of changes. So again, we'll start from the beginning. So verse 2 starts on the D. I'll remember to the F sharp minor again, and then it goes to a G this time rather than an E minor. Your voice is soft to an A again, as the warm D to a B7 summer breeze. Then we've got the E minor to G minor bit again. Your sweet laughter, G minor, mornings after. E minor again, ever to A. And then it stays on the D. And then we're into the middle 8 bit here. So again, just chords wise for verse 2. So we've got D, F sharp minor to a G rather than E minor, A. Then the rest of it's the same. So that D, B7, E minor, G minor, E minor, A, D. And then we're into the middle 8, which then goes to a D7. So after that, after the ever after, hey, I'll remember you. Then it's the D7. To your arms, G someday. E, E7. I'll return to stay. A, till then it stops. And then it's up to you really when you want to come in with the I will remember. So we'll go through that middle 8 bit again. So after the end of the second verse where it's on that D after I'll remember you, to a D7, to your arms, G, someday, E7, I'll return, A to stay, till then, stop on then, I will and then we're into verse 3, which is the same as verse 2, exactly the same actually, so I don't need to go through the chords of that because that is exactly the same. Again, going for the G instead of the A, but yeah, if you're unsure of that, just look at the chords for verse 2 again, because that is the same. And then it stays on the D, but then it does a solo, which if you're playing by yourself, you don't necessarily have to do. But if you do want to do that and just play the chords are this for it. So we've got D, F sharp minor to G, A, B, B7, E minor, G minor, E minor, A, and then D. In fact, the solo chords are actually exactly the same as the verse chords. I've just realised that. So yeah. So that again, if you're not sure what the chords are for that, just look at the verse chords, verse 2 and 3 chords, and it's exactly the same. And then you're back into the middle 8. So once you've done that little solo bit, that brief interlude, you're staying on that D, and then you're doing the middle 8 bit again, which is exactly the same. There's no change there. D7 to G, E7, A, stay on the A for the break. But this is the bit where it does change. We change key here. So right for the final verse, verse 4, on the till then, we've got a B7, which helps lead you into the note that you need to sing. The I. So it's B7, I will remember. See, sometimes I struggle to get that note. So it might take a bit of practicing, particularly if you're wanting to sing this yourself, just to figure out what the note is. I will remember. Then we're on an E to bring you into this to the main bit of verse 4. So it's B7 again. I will remember. E, G sharp minor, A, B7, E, then it's a C sharp, which is here, F sharp minor, A minor, F sharp minor again, B7, and then we've got a D9, which is this. So it's basically your first finger on the first fret of the second string, your B string, and then you want your second finger on the second fret of the G string. So, and then an open E string. So it's that. And that's a D9. So we'll go from the last line of the verse 4, which is B7, and then you've got your D9 here. You'll remember to. And the backing vocals go, E. And then we just finish on an E. So that's it. So I'll just quickly go through verse 4 with you again to help solidify it. Again, as I say, do play along, pause the video, slow it down, whatever you need to do. If there's anything you're unsure of, just, isn't quite clear, drop me a comment, absolutely fine. Always happy to answer any queries or questions you might have, but we'll just quickly go through verse 4. So again, we're starting after the A of that middle 8. Till then, it's a B7, I will E, G sharp minor, A, every B7, E, C sharp, F sharp minor, A minor, F sharp minor, B7, D9, E. And that's it, that's I'll Remember You. I say, lovely song. There's a bit more going on. It takes maybe a bit more remembering than you might necessarily think. So there are quite a few different changes with the chords, and particularly that curveball it throws at the end when it changes key. But it's a lovely one to do. As I say, really nice one for the acoustic guitar. I do hope that was useful. As I say, I've done another video where I've just played the song in its entirety, so do feel free to play along with that if that would help you. As I say, it's in the same key as the original, although I think that is half a step down, so if you're playing along it sounds a bit off. It's not your guitar, it's that the original is tuned half a step down, I think, which I think was quite common in the 1960s for them to do that. Yeah, I hope you found that useful. Do give me a like and a subscribe if you haven't already, if you liked what you saw. It does really help me out. And yeah, if there's anything you weren't sure of, do please leave me a comment. Always happy to answer any questions you might have. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope that was useful, and I'll see you in the next one.